Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new deck music video. I appreciate you being here, and today we are breaking down SISTO's discography. This is going to be by far one of the best videos I think I've ever done on this channel. As you just heard in the intro, you can probably tell that I'm a little sick, so I do apologize. I'm not going to be exuberant in this video, but I do want to get this out. And my voice is much better than it has been the past couple days, so I do feel like I can record this without it being too bad, so I do apologize for that. This video is going to be insane. Not only are we breaking down SISTO's discography, I'm going to be giving you plenty of facts about him, kind of like a biography. I'm going to be giving you what SISTO means to me and who he is to me. And then we're also going to have an interview. I haven't put together this video yet, but like I'm kind of expecting it to be like longer than the Boom video. This is going to be wild. And not only that, I did get permission to share a few things that have not been out in the public. So not only are we getting a custom interview, we're getting leaks, which is just ridiculous to me. I promise you, you're not gonna wanna miss an ounce of this video. So let's start off with who SISTO is. Well, his full name is Nicholas Michael SISTO. So obviously his last name is his producer name, which I love his last name. I think it's so cool. He's from San Jose, California, but he now lives in Colorado. He's been releasing music on all streaming platforms since July 31st of 2020. That is when the Penitence EP came out on Railbreakers on July 31st, 2020. SISTO has released a total of 11 EPs, 24 singles, many of which being collaborations with other artists such as Dak Daniels, Prosecute, Qoiet, Bainbridge, Avance, AFK, and Bear Grillz, and a few being remixes of other songs. He's also released 3 ID showcases under the quote, Conjuring of the Elixir alias. So that's SISTO. I mean, it's just so wild to me that he's released 11 EPs and 24 singles in a matter of 4 years. And just to think, like, he's coming up on 4 years at the end of this month. And just to think, that was also COVID. He wasn't releasing music before COVID, which I think is just kind of wild. That's how long it's been. But anyways, who is SISTO to me? Well, I found SISTO just by searching through related artists on Apple Music back in 2022. If you go to like an artist page, I think Spotify has something similar now that I'm using a little bit of Spotify now. But if you go on Apple Music, if you go to an artist page, you can scroll down and see like a list of 8 or so related artists that have similar sounds, similar genres, whatever. That's how I found SISTO. I listened to his most recent EP called Fool's Gambit, and Shattered Crown instantly became one of my favorite songs, like, of all time. Shattered Crown is also still a favorite of mine from SISTO. SISTO has been my favorite heavy producer ever since, and I have literally not wavered. Ever since I found Shattered Crown, he has always been my #1 guy. He released 3 EPs in 2023 with these respective dates: April 10th, June 28th, and August 11th. With his consistently good music and his consistent uploading, he furthered his spot as #1 for me. Arguably, that's one of the best things that an artist can do, is consistently releasing, whether that is an EP, sometimes even an album, or just a single. I have found that artists that release an EP and then a month later, or even a few weeks later, release a single, their popularity just skyrockets because they're keeping their name up in people's feeds. And that's what SISTO did here in 2023 with his 3 EPs. I believe those 3 were I Didn't Want It Like This, Eyes Sewn Silent, and the Engulfed EP. Ever since I started this project, it never occurred to me that I'd be able to meet and speak with some of these artists, but I've been blown away with how much I've been able to talk with people I've looked up to for so long, one of the first being SISTO. So that's who he is to me, and honestly, I just need to give a big thanks to him. That's what this whole video is literally just going through his history and just praising it because it is so good. It's so good. Let's walk through his discography. We're going to begin with his most popular single of all time with 1.4 almost million plays on Spotify. It is called Fuss. Once again, I'm not going to be exuberant in this video like I usually am. I would be like running up and down, absolutely tearing up this room because I love all these songs. I just don't have the energy for that. I listened to this song when he released the VIP version, and I love them both. It's especially that pre-drop is I think what gives it that really unique sound. Yeah, that's just so good. And just as a reminder, this is all before I found SISTO as an artist, but we're still going to run through it because it's really important leading up to, you know, his entire being now, honestly. We're next going to go to the Visualize EP, which was his first EP released on Cyclops Records. His most popular track on that EP is called Boogie with almost 200,000 plays, but I actually want to showcase the song called In Silence. Has about 33,000 plays, and it's his first melodic tune that he's ever released. I had no idea that he released a melodic tune, by the way. So I listened to this a few days ago, and I absolutely love it. I had no idea he released a melodic tune, and it's just so good. Gosh dang. Next up, we're going to go to the Pawn's Corpse EP that was released on Disciple Roundtable. The most popular tune on that is In Orbit, and I have had so many people in my comments actually talk about this song, and I haven't listened to this EP yet. I do want to get to it. I was going to do it before this video, but I just haven't had time. But we are going to listen to In Orbit with 96,000 plays. It is still people's favorite to this day. This one's also another melodic one. If I'm understanding it right, it's heavy in a way, but it's also melodic. Really good song. I really need to go back and listen to this EP, honestly. But I really enjoy this. And going through all of these songs, you can see his progression and his style and his approach to things. It's so good. Next up, we have the Fool's Gambit EP, his second ever EP released on the Cyclops Recordings label. The song that I'm going to show here is Shattered Crown, still one of my favorite, if not number one for me, SISTO songs of all time. I just absolutely love this track. I don't know what it is. It's the ideas or the sounds or I don't know, but I just love this song. I listened to this song for a solid 2 months on repeat with other songs in that mix as well, but this was on my everyday list for so long. I just love this entire track. I also ranked this song as number one in 2022. Overheed and Over Marching Band by Vicinity. I love it. I love it. Like the first section of the drop is amazing, but then we have the switch, which just changes everything. Like what? That's ridiculous. I can't. Next up, we're going to another one of my favorites called It Followed Me Home with SISTO and Qoiet. Qoiet is one of those screamo artists. And so when I saw that they collabed, I about lost my mind because I knew this was going to be one of the heaviest songs that SISTO has ever produced. And it turns out it was. I absolutely love this track. Almost 74,000 plays. Let's check it out. And just the entire buildup of this track too. How it starts out and how it progresses into what it is. It's unbelievable. You can tell that SISTO is really improving his sound just going through all these tracks. I can't. I can't. It's just so... what do you say about this? Oh, here's the switch. I forgot about this. If you haven't heard these tunes, like, this video is just gonna blow you away with how good his sound design is. Like, what a switch. Still containing the original idea, but just making it that much heavier. Gosh. Next up, we're going to go to the Eyes Sewn Silent EP released on DPMO. We're actually going to check out the least popular track on this EP because it's actually my favorite. It's called Stunlock. I just think the idea and the sounds are just really good. I really don't know what to say about these tunes. I'm not going to lie. I love the breaks. It's the break for me. Gosh, dang. Here's a switch. I love those screeches, by the way. I like the vocal too. A lot of people don't. I really love it. And switch is just phenomenal again. But by the way, I have to say, all of these EPs are amazing. These are just my favorites off of these. Go check them out. All of these EPs are amazing. Next up, we're going to go to the Engulfed EP that was released on Malignant Music. And this EP is actually the first ever review video I did on this channel. I also found out that I released this video on my birthday. That's my 1-year anniversary for this channel is actually on my birthday, August 14th, which is kind of wild. So that's coming up. And I have a few ideas of what I want to do, so it's going to be a good time. But we're going to check out my favorite off of this EP called Throwing Limbs. This entire EP is amazing in its own right. There's several tracks on here that are just awesome. SISTO, you'll see later in the video, he said one of his favorite tracks that he's ever made is on this EP. So let's check out Throwing Limbs. I don't know what it is about this one. I think I just really like the sounds, not necessarily the idea, but it's just so different than other things you'd expect. I mean, constant rhythm, but it's nothing like unique, but just the sounds that it brings to the table, no one's doing. Eighth note switch. So good. It's so good. Next up, we're going to go to Pit of the Maw with Bear Grillz and SISTO. This was released on Rude Service with 124,000 plays. This is one of the most anticipated releases that he's done. One of the releases that people at live shows really loved. So seeing it being released is awesome. Not one of my absolute favorites, but I really do like this song, and it's definitely a big up for SISTO for sure. Like, you hear both of them in this track. Gosh, I forgot most of this because I haven't listened to it a lot. Gosh dang, dude. What do you do? Oh, it's just, I can't. That's wild. I forgot how good that was. And last but not least, for released songs on this discography breakdown, we have Dead Champions from the DEVOUR EP, a self-release that was literally released this past Friday. This song is definitely one of my top 5 from SISTO. It's called Dead Champions. Everyone has been waiting for this ID. I believe it's from Volume 3 of Conjuring the Elixir. Everyone's been waiting for it. I have too. I really like this one. It's just the sound design is so different. It is so different. Because here's the thing, you have SISTO, and like you can put his music to rhythm, you can put his music to dubstep, you can put his music to tear out. He doesn't fall in any of that. He is his own entity of releasing music. We actually talked about this in an interview, I believe. His style is so unique, and he talked about how he did it. It was almost like on accident, I believe, but like his style is just so unique. No one can do stuff like this. Like either someone's completely rhythm, completely tear out, whatever. Like they can produce other things, but like he mixes them in such a way that's just totally different. He's the most unique producer, I think, in the dubstep scene, really honestly the past 2 years. I love that song, for real. So here comes a part of the video that is completely unique to here. If you're here, then you're about to get some insane leaks. I have to give a big ups to SISTO. He and I talked a little bit before and after the interview. I think we were on call for like 2 hours, even though the interview was only like 30 minutes. He and I talked about so much, and one of the things was that I was going to show some of my favorite IDs from the Conjuring of the Elixir, the 3 different showcases, right? And he ended up giving me some links to the full ID, and he gave me permission to show them in this video. So we're about to show you some of my favorite IDs from Conjuring of the Elixir, and it's not just the section that's in the song. There's also switches to some of them and just new things that I didn't hear until this, which is just ridiculous. So SISTO, thank you. And by the way, please do not rip these. Let's respect SISTO's work. I got permission to share these, not for people to take them out of the video and use them for projects. So there you go. Anyways, we're going to start off. I'm going to get timestamps for these. So this ID is at 6 minutes and 40 seconds of Conjuring of the Elixir Volume 2. For those of you who don't know, Volume 2 is my favorite ID showcase that he's released. This one is called NECROSIS. You all might recognize the build-up. You'll probably recognize the drop if you've heard the ID showcase enough, but there is a switch that's just stupid. I had to stand up for this. Sit down. This is the heaviest track he's ever produced. My goodness gracious. Here's the switch. This is not in the ID showcase. Like what? It's just stupid. This is stupid. There you go. What? Like, oh my gosh. I can't. Here's another one of my favorites. This is at 8 minutes and 49 seconds of Volume 2. This one's called 8 Ball. And again, these are IDs, so they're probably not finished in a way if he ever is going to release them, so they might sound different if they are released. This one is so goofy. It's so goofy, but it hits. That's why I love it. Watch out. Gosh dang! Bum, bum. I love the pitch movement on all of the parts. Here's the switch here. This is not in the ID showcase. Yeah, there you go. Here's another one of my favorite IDs. This is from Volume 2 as well. This timestamp is 2 minutes and 43 seconds. It's called... I hope he changes the name before he ever releases this, but it's called Superglue My Balls to My Thigh. There you go. That's the best part. Here's a switch. This is not in the ID showcase. Oh my gosh, dude. This man is just the definition of insanity. All right, so I think all of you want this. I've had several people say that this is like one of their favorite IDs from him or whatever. It's not my absolute favorite, but it's one that everyone wants to see. And I do really enjoy this one. I cannot spill what's happening with this track. However, I will say he does have plans for this track. I can't share what that is. It's not my place to share that, and I definitely don't want to overshare because it's not my brand. But he does have plans to do something with this track. This is the VULLGAR ID. It's called Veil of the Unknown. SISTO and VULLGAR. Sorry, it's the collab. I don't know if I've even heard this part yet. But by the way, the switch is... It's a switch for the ages. Gosh, that's... Wow. Alright, this is where the ID begins. That intro is really interesting. I don't even remember that. Love that sustain. Oh. By the way, this is Conjuring the Elixir Volume 3. 820 is the timestamp. I don't know if I said that. All right, here's the switch. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Oh. I'm getting more sick over here listening to this. There you have it. There's the ID that everyone's wanted. That's it for the discography breakdown. I am blown away. I love SISTO so much. I love him. He's the man, for real. There's so much other things that I want to share. I do have an idea for what I want to do for SISTO DEVOUR since he's going to play that this Sunday. He's in Europe right now. I have a plan about it. I'm going to ask him about it because I would love for him to join me. So I have some thoughts for that. We shall see what happens. But yeah, good stuff is coming for SISTO DEVOUR for sure. With that being said, This interview that you're about to see is one of, if not the best interviews I've done, probably the best interview, just because of how much sheer information is here, not only about the actual DEVOUR EP, but we talked about his entire project. Just an insane interview that's about 30 minutes. It's going to be hard to cut down, honestly, but you won't want to miss it. And then at the very end, we have a little surprise for you. It'll be during the outro. So anyways, thank you for watching. Enjoy the interview. Am I allowed to use the two that you just sent?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, I will do that then. Yeah. That will be huge.
Because they have funny names too, so. I really like the song. Oh wait, no, that was Superglue My Balls to My Thought. Are you gonna put that one on there?
Sure.
just for the title, just for the title's purpose.
Yes, we will do that for sure. Tell us about one of your favorite moments as SISTO.
Favorite moments? Okay. Like at a show or just in general, or
at your SISTO?
I think one of my favorite moments is I was in El Paso playing a show on the Yaks tour. We got this random show to play support for Sudden Death, and the night after, when I woke up to my manager telling me that I was going to be playing Lost Lands, and that was like the first Lost Lands I ever played. And I don't think I'll ever forget. I literally threw my phone across the room and shattered it, and just held up my arms and was screaming like someone was murdering me. Like,
that is hilarious.
I was screaming so loud that the hotel staff came and knocked on my door because they thought like something was happening. That moment, like, I felt like God for like 10 minutes. It was funny. It was a good time. I think that was probably one of my most memorable times.
As it should be. That's hilarious.
And like when like I've seen people walk up to me, there's a couple people who like have tattoos of my logo, and that also just like blew me away.
That is something I would be wanting to do at some point.
Yeah, I'll send you a custom thing or something. I don't know.
Yes. I'll do it. Honestly, if I make it as an artist, I will totally do that for whoever's my favorite, which is you. You've been the favorite for 2 years, so
I want to get a Void tattoo at some point, because he's like probably been my like biggest inspiration for dubstep in general, especially since he came from the Bay Area, just like me, and like seeing how he's grown. It's just like he was like my superhero. He was like the voice in the back of my head that was like, no, you can fucking do this. Like, you can do this.
Okay, so one of my questions was going to be, who are your inspirations? So Void. Are there other people?
Yeah, Sudden Death, Void. I pull a lot of inspiration from like stuff that's not in dubstep. So I like Knocked Loose a lot. Bring Me the Horizon. Flume. I really like Flume. Just like his like abstract abilities when he does like the resampling analog stuff, that like how he like his workflow of making music is just like always been super fascinating to me. And the more that dubstep's kind of grown, sound design wise, a lot of people do like resampling and granular synthesis stuff, and like I feel like he was doing that before anyone in dubstep was, and kind of like, I don't know, I just think it's really cool how he makes music, and I've tried to like pull styles of that into dubstep, and obviously not in like a melodic jazzy way, but like yeah, I think like also in dubstep I really respect YVM3's project, just how his project's grown, and his like creative integrity with it is inspiring musically, but also just on like a philosophical level, because I've had lots of conversations with him about stuff, and like it is, I feel like I always walk away from conversations with him like learning something, and it's really cool to like have a friend like that.
I do think it's a good thing that you're finding inspiration out of dubstep, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I barely listen to dubstep. Like, I just
really
I make dubstep, but I barely listen to it. Yeah.
So who are the people that you listen to?
My friends. In fact, Samplifier, Pike, Prosecute, a lot of Jaquiz stuff. I really love everything Jaquiz done with his project, like branding wise this year has been really cool. Blank Space, Hamro, all of these like dubstep acts that I feel like are on this like peak, like they're on this like threshold right now, and it's really cool because a lot of them are starting to push out of this like ceiling and like get noticed by like bigger and bigger crowds and like getting more fans, and it's really cool to see all my friends like doing shit, you know.
But if you're like, say you're driving in the car for 30 minutes, you're not listening to dubstep unless if it's your friends. Wow. That's that's actually so interesting.
I used to listen to it a lot, but I make so much music that it's turned into like it's like a love-hate relationship. Yeah. Like if I just sat in my room for 8 hours and made music and listened to that for 8 hours and I'm like, oh, I need to go to the grocery store, the last thing I want to do is put on more of that. Like I want to like disassociate from it, basically.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of One Heart, like a lot of like ambient, like no drum music.
I do too, actually.
Yeah. All of that like
One Heart's
cloudy
amazing.
music.
Spotify's ambient playlists are actually they actually hit.
They're insane.
They're insane.
They're insane. Yeah.
Like I use them for my main channel videos. That's how good they are.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, half the time when I'm going to sleep, I have my headphones on and a different connector, and I just fall asleep to that stuff.
Yep. I do the same.
I feel like I constantly need some sort of like audio stim, just constantly. Like when I leave my room, like the studio, and I go like make food in the kitchen, I am almost always listening to something.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a bad thing, but
no, I don't think so.
I'm here for it.
It's either you're either listening or like playing music off your phone if you're doing something, or you're playing music in your mind. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That's all really good info. I had no idea. What is your current favorite song and released ID of yours?
Oh God, current favorite song?
Current favorite release song, current favorite released ID. As in like in Conjuring of the Elixir or Devour set, whatever.
Oh, of my own music?
Yeah.
Current favorite release song that I'm really proud of is probably Iron Collar. I really, really love that song. I was really proud of that one. And favorite released ID is probably Dead Champions. Because I had a lot of my friends playing that for the last year, and a lot of them were pissed off at me for putting it out, which makes me laugh and makes me like it even more. So yeah.
So is putting out an ID that people love like not a good thing for the artist?
It kind of depends on how you weigh out the importance of having like I don't know. There's like the DJ friends, and then there's like your like people that you're playing your music for, you know? Obviously like they're not like actually pissed off at you, so it's not like a big deal. But like if it's a good song, like I want to put it out. I want everyone to hear it.
But then there's also you're losing the incentive of people coming to your shows for specific IDs.
I feel like I'm detached enough from the rhythm community that I don't have like rhythm kids being like that. I don't even know what kind of genre my dubstep falls into, because it like I have some songs that have a little more rhythmy to it, more dubstep, more tear out. It kind of just depends on like whatever idea came out. I don't really like stick to any style, so
yeah,
I feel like I've kind of done a decent job at creating a fan base of people who aren't like only rhythm or only tear out or only like big stage festival dubstep people. Trying to like, because dubstep's already a subgenre. Like, well, it's not a subgenre, but dubstep's already like niche, at least in my opinion. And like putting yourself further in a corner subgenre under dubstep, I feel like can sometimes not be the best thing to do.
Absolutely.
So yeah, but it's weird because I never really consciously thought about any of that and like made music specifically trying to like, I didn't like make a rhythm song and I was like, okay, now I have to make a dubstep song, now I have to make a tear out song. It just kind of ended up being like that. Yeah.
I was saying that because I was recording my reaction video to Devour. I said the same thing. I was like, he sometimes falls into rhythm or trench, or not trench, tear out, but you are like right in the middle. And I think you've done more than a decent job on that. So
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think just because what we were talking about before the interview about how if you don't like the idea in 2 hours, just start over.
Yep.
Doing that, you end up spitting out ideas that you wouldn't have
Thought you would be
overthought.
doing.
You didn't
Yeah.
overthink trying to make something, and then you
And
just
that's
spit
it.
out something. And you're like, wait, this is sick,
Mhm.
and you just go with it.
Absolutely. Have you ever thought of making like more chill things, such as Home by Murata? Like as an example.
To release, no, but I have an entire side project that has like 30 unreleased, like future rhythm and like bass house and ambient and liquid drum and bass tunes.
Oh, gosh.
that are all unreleased that
You're teasing me so hard right now, dude. Oh.
So the thing about those tracks and like the reason I don't put them out is because I kind of have like a pretty strong emotional attachment to all of them, because the only reason why that started was because I had like this really bad like 6 months of like anxiety like 2.5 years ago, and I've randomly like in the middle of a really bad like manic anxiety episode, I got on Ableton and I started making melodic music. And then all of a sudden it turned into like a habit that every time I had an anxiety attack, I made a tune. So all of those tunes are literally an anxiety attack bubbled into a tune.
Wow.
So like, I kind of feel weird putting it out, but I mean, I really like all of them.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe one day. In the beginning of like doing the SISTO project, I was putting one melodic tune on every dubstep EP. Like on Pawn's Corpse, I put one. On Fool's Gambit, I think I put one. Did I? I don't remember.
Not to my knowledge, but
No,
I haven't
not
listened to
that one.
Palm's Corpse, so I need to.
Yeah.
do
Oh
that.
no, it wasn't. It was the one before that. It was on the Visualize EP. Yeah.
I need to go check that out then.
Yeah. That was my first Cyclops EP, and then the second one was Fool's Gambit. I think it's the last tune on Visualize, because that's
Sentinel?
that one has Boogie
Or
in
Sentinel?
it and Visualize. Yeah, Sentinel. That's the melodic
Yeah.
one. Yeah. Wait,
Okay.
is it? Okay.
There's
I don't know if
Visualize,
it's Sentinel.
Confidential, Confidential, In Silence, Sentinel.
In Silence. In Silence
In
is the melodic
Silence.
one.
Personal opinion, if it's all a side project, I mean, yeah, if it's close to you, it's close to you. But
Yeah.
you could do something totally not under the name of SISTO. Would be sick.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do that, and then probably wear a mask and
Do it.
do the whole secret alias thing.
Do it. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Have you almost quit? What was the reason and what kept you here?
I almost quit. I've definitely had some like major lows, and it's something that luckily, because of the friend group that I've like, my like family friend group that I've like created and been able to be a part of, and I mean, I say created as in like, because it took a long time to like really find people that I could like resonate with and be super honest with, because there's constantly drama in this scene that no one even knows about. But luckily they're all people that are like anywhere from like 4 to 8 years older than me. And I really like have respected a lot of the things that they say and their advice, and I take it as church like all the time, because you know they've been there, done that. And through doing that, I feel like I've been able to react to certain situations better than if I hadn't had like such a simple conversation with whoever. I think the biggest learning lesson that I've talked to with my friends is getting over the attitude of seeing someone else succeed and being like, why isn't that happening to me? Because especially if you have some sort of opinion about the person that's doing super well, and you know that they're putting in 20% of the work that you're putting in, and you kind of have to like accept the gamble of being in this industry. And like, you know, sometimes, because I have friends that do so much, like so much. They're so good at audio engineering. They're so good at doing social media stuff. They're great people, but for whatever reason, there's just this gamble that's just not like working for them. And I've had my moments where I've felt in that position, and it's not necessarily that it like made me want to quit, but it was more just like getting really depressed, like for weeks. Nothing's ever made me want to quit, because at the end of the day, like it should always just be about the music and not about the growth. And also from that, my friends that are older, they always say like, enjoy the journey and not the destination. And I know a lot of people like that's like a saying, but after doing this like seriously for, I think I'm coming up on 4 years now, or like 3.5 years, I'm realizing how like that is so true. Like it's so true. Just enjoying being able to do this is more important than you playing XYZ show or getting XYZ plays on whatever tune or getting noticed by whoever, not getting followed by some person that you look up to, or just that like trivial shit.
That's actually so applicable to more things than just music.
Oh yeah. Luckily, like my dad has been like a huge supporter of my project, and my mom, but the day that I told him that I'm going to do this like full time, the day I quit my job and the day that Patreon was able to like really like sustain what I needed to survive and I could like fully send it on this, he printed me out this paper that has The Man in the Arena by Theodore Roosevelt. It's like this quote, and I read that like every single morning, and that has kept my mentality, you know, in the right place for the most part. And I still have it on my wall.
Yeah, that's serious stuff right there.
Yeah.
Who or what led you to find your current sound design?
Through like doing trial and error. I see, this is the thing. I like have a lot of friends. This is like a weird topic for me because I have a lot of friends that like tell me that I have a sound and I don't hear it. And again, what we were talking about before the interview with throwing out ideas, I think through doing that repetition of just like throwing out an idea, I don't like it in 2 hours, next idea, I started building habits, like unconsciously building habits and like developing my sound that way, I guess.
But you don't think you have a sound?
I just can't hear it. Like I don't know why. Like I could see how I have a sound, but I just can't hear it because
you hear it all the time.
Yeah, like how I don't listen to dubstep when I go get groceries.
And that's probably a part of it too.
Yeah,
I obviously don't listen to, you know, the most dubstep out of anyone in the world, but from what I know, yeah, there absolutely is a sound, and that's why you're my favorite.
Hell yeah.
Put that
Thank
simply.
You,
So yeah, that's interesting. I'm hoping I'll be able to do the same as well. If I am able to spit out ideas, just
get the reps in, dude. That's all it is.
Get the reps in. Anything else you want to add?
Rampage. It's not getting live streamed for whatever reason. They decided that they're not going to live stream it, but we did get a multicam team. We have 4 cameras that are going to be recording the whole thing.
Nice.
And we're going to make a whole set movie after Rampage. But
and that will
Rampage
go
open air. I'm debuting SISTO DEVOUR. It's this audio visual theatrical experience I've been working on for like 2 years, and we finally have like the consolidated idea, and it's the whole set's all originals, unreleased, and a few released. And I'm absolutely terrified and insanely excited to do it. But yeah, dude, it has been what has swallowed my life for the last like year. I've like been doing, you know, the stuff I need to do for SISTO, like keeping the ball rolling, but this DEVOUR project has been like my baby for so long, and it's crazy to finally get it out. But yeah, I play on Sunday.
This Sunday?
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday. Okay. And will it be out on platforms like
the video?
YouTube and whatnot?
We're gonna figure out how we're gonna market it, but yeah, it's definitely gonna be on YouTube for sure.
Oh boy.
And then hopefully on Rampage's YouTube. Gosh. But yeah,
I'm so happy for you, dude.
Thank you, man. Thank you, dude.
That's huge, dude. And for the people watching this, when we first met, he showed me some things that still not gonna say. He showed me some things that are just, no one else is doing this in this scene. This is something so completely unique to not only SISTO, but just the bass scene. Like, no one is doing what he's doing. So go check it out.
Thank you, man.
When it comes out. I will be doing that. I might even live stream when it comes out. I don't know. That would be huge.
That'd be sick.
Gosh.
I really like, how do I say this? Okay, so Void and YVM3 obviously inspired me a lot to do it, but I'm hoping that the way that this is gonna go, that I inspire people to do it more, because I really want to see like people in dubstep tell stories like this, because I feel like I'm tired of seeing just a DJ. I mean, it's a hot take to a lot, and a lot of people get pissed off because there's obviously like an art to DJing, but I think the art to DJing has a ceiling. The art to telling a story
has no
is
ceiling.
infinite. Yeah.
And then when you combine it with all the other things, that's Best of luck to you.
Thank you, man.
That's huge, dude.
I'm super excited, dude.
Good. So it's been a little bit after the SISTO interview, just a couple hours, and I gotta thank SISTO once again for coming on, the channel and making an appearance. That was so much fun. We had like a 2-hour call, and that interview was just 30 minutes. So SISTO, thank you so much. If you have questions for SISTO, I'll be letting him know that I'm telling you guys to leave questions in the comments if there's something that you want answered that we didn't talk about. So I don't know if he'll respond or not, but go ahead and leave them down there. If I know if it's something that we talked about, then I'll let y'all know. But seriously, thank you all for watching this entire video. This is a huge video, but this was so much fun to produce. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.